Okay, number two, your production budget. So just remember, number one is your sales budget. Your sales budget, you're trying to figure out how much you believe you're going to sell in the next, I'm going to say month, right? So if you're going to sell things, obviously you need to make them if you're going to sell them. So it's the production budget is the quantities needed to be produced to meet your demand. But secondly, and you need to remember this, right, because it's slightly different, you need to know how much closing stock you want. So say for this month, the month of May, I might decide that I'm going to sell, I think that I'm going to sell 10,000 units, but I want to have 2,000 units ready for June. That means I'm going to sell 10 and I want to have 2,000 in my stock. So that means I need to make 12,000. So when we're looking at this, you're looking at what you think you're going to be, what's going to be the demand or what you're going to sell, but you're also going to take into account you want to have stock that you're ready for the next month. So watch the two of these. Your production budget will always be in quantities because you want to just know how much you're going to make. It's produced or prepared by the production manager and it shows how many units must be made. Now I just want to go back through the closing stock again. Just be careful. You need to say you need to produce what you're going to sell, plus you want to have stock there for the future. So you're going to make what you need plus your closing stock. Okay, if you look at the layout of the production budget, again, it's like the sales budget. You put your products here. Okay, so you're talking about making your products. So you've product one and you've product two. You want to know how much are your sales. You want to add on your closing stock. Because remember over here, I said it's what you're going to sell plus how much closing stock you want to have. Now, the only other thing that I have here is you take away what you already have, your opening stock. So it's the opposite to your trading account. You're adding your closing stock and taking away your opening stock. So if we look at question one from the ordinary level there, so remember here, when you're doing your production budget as well, you're looking, I'm actually going to add this over here, you're looking at finished goods because they're made, okay, and they're ready for sale. So in this, you would think you're going to sell 6,000 of these, and for Red Lane, you're going to sell 8,200. Now, at the end of the year, you want your closing stock to be 760. So you want them, or the end of the month, you want 760 ready for the next month, and you want 650 of Red Lane ready. But before you start off this month, you already had stock, you already had 800 made, so you don't need to make them, so that's why we're taking them away. And you already had 700 of these made, so you don't need to make these. So this will tell me how many units I need to make. So 5,000, okay, sorry, I'm going to just make sure. Okay, 5,960, I'm just going to write this in here, units. That's how many units you want to make. And 8,250, no, 8,800, isn't it? Sorry, 8,150 units. Okay, so that's how many you're going to make. Now, if you imagine, we've done the sales budget, we've done the production budget. So now you know how much you're going to make. What's the next thing that you need to do? If you think about it, you're going to have to start making these. Now, to make products, the first thing that you need, go back to your manufacturing account. What's the first thing in the manufacturing account? It's your raw materials. So the next thing we're going to look at, in a few minutes, we're going to look at, well, if you're going to make this amount, how much raw materials do you need to make this amount of units? Let's have a look at the honours question. Now the honours obviously is going to be a little bit more difficult. We knew that this is 25,000 units we want to make of King, and we know of Con is 30,000 units. Now I want you to go back to the introduction. I want you to get a highlighter, and I want you to highlight the third sentence. All stocks are to be increased by 15% from their opening levels. So whatever your opening stock is, they're just telling you there that your closing stock has to be 15% more. So stock of finished goods, again, you can only deal with finished goods because these are goods that you're making. So your opening stock, you have 1,300 already made, and you have 1,240 of Con already made. Now your closing stock, they said, is to be 15% more than that. So your closing stock is to be 1,495. Likewise there, it has to be 15% more. So your closing stock needs to be 1426. So just the difference with the honours and the ordinary. They've just given you a little bit more maths in it. So that's 25,195 units that you want to make. And here you want to make 30,186 units. Now, I just want you to be careful with this, okay? The first two budgets are looking at the products, okay? The products that you're making, how much you want to sell and how much you need to make.